Hi Heidi, how are you? Oh my god, I can't believe I'm actually talking to the Yuna herself.
How are you?
I'm doing great, Heidi. How are you? Just a quick introduction. My name
I
is
am great.
Anderson. My name is Anderson, and I became a fan of Final Fantasy X back when I was 6 years old. How I became a fan?
Mhm.
It was only a year after I received a PS2 as a gift from my father, and I was like looking for a game, like
Yeah.
a new game to play at a video game store. And this one video game store, somehow they played the wedding invasion cutscene, and 6-year-old me blew up. Like my brain exploded. I'm like, this looks so real, looks so cool. Like I need this game. And I told
Yeah.
the store, what game is this? And it's like finally said like, I want it. Can you please give it? I want to buy. I want to buy it. And I tell my dad, and I bought it. I fell in love with it, and thank God I did, because that game made me mature and become a better person I am. Like no matter how many times I replay it, had a big impact on my life.
Really? Oh, that is amazing. I love that story.
Yeah, and if you
And I
need,
love your Tidus
thank
cosplay.
thank you.
That
I
looks
even have the
amazing.
sword, and I even have the poster from the re-release in the 2019 on Nintendo Switch and Xbox.
Wow. Wow,
Um,
Anderson, that is so cool.
thank thank you. But yeah, like the game had a very profound impact on my life because
It sounds
growing
like it.
growing up, I did had a complex relationship with my father, and I did
Oh,
have someone in my life who, who's officially my guardian, who's now who's kind of family to us. And it wasn't until the last
yeah.
several years where my relationship with my dad started to improve and get better, and now I work for him and
Good.
stuff. And not to mention, when Titus is sent to Spirit for the first time, he's almost
Hmm.
isolated. Like everyone tried to isolate him because they think he's weird. He has
Yep.
Saint's toxin. That's how
Yep.
I am, because I don't know how to socially, you know, like I'm both antisocial, but I'm also highly social. So it just kind of has this conflict within you, especially when you grow up and just you meet people along the way.
Yeah,
Um,
the duality of that is really hard, isn't
yeah,
it? Like the
yeah.
two things opposing
Um,
each other, but also like making the same person, the same wonderful person that you are.
Yeah. One of the things I would say is that, as you can see, like I started cosplaying as Tidus in 2018, and little by little started improving on my cosplay. Like this year, I got this necklace of his. I kind of fixed some stuff with the glove.
Yeah.
I got
Oh, I,
this
I
as
bet
a
James would love to see that. I hope that you
I
see it.
actually met James back in 2019, and he even signed my PS4
Yay!
copy of the game.
Yay!
Although this was before, I got this sword, so it'd be awesome to get a sword and
Oh
all that.
man, yeah, it'd be
Um,
so great for him to see that. Ah, yeah.
yeah. But one thing that, like I do, there's a couple things I do want to ask is
Yeah.
so I might be right or wrong, but was your very first video game voice acting credit. Is that correct?
Pretty much, yeah. I had auditioned for a few things before then, and I had been acting, for a while. I'd been on television.
Firefox.
I had done some theatrical productions, but that was the first, yeah, that was the first big thing. Yeah.
I see. Um, uh, were you surprised? And this is gonna sound, I know this is kind of stereotype, because we're at that point now where video games is fully accepted. Were you shocked at like how massive the script for Final Fantasy X was, and thinking like, my God, like I've never seen a story, this deep and this complex in a video game before.
I have to, Anderson, what a good observation. First of all, you're right. That story is so complex and there's so much to it. And I think I was surprised at how detailed they created the world, the characters, their feelings, their relationships. I think another thing that I was really impressed with in that movie was the ways that they continually kept finding opportunities for each interaction with the player and the game to determine how the story would evolve. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't just that you were playing these battles or playing these scenes or doing these, you were in essence creating your own experience in a way that I don't think I was used to really seeing, because even before that, I really wasn't much of a gamer. You know what I mean? So I was really unfamiliar with where the whole industry had really progressed up to that point. So it was, I love that observation, Anderson, and you're 1000% right that was really incredible to see.
Yeah.
Great question.
I do got a quick question.
Mhm.
Uh, and this kind of it's kind of similar. Like, how surprised were you when you had to record the famous kiss scene and the ending? Because I'm pretty sure, because that was the first time I legit cried at a video game, because it was just so
Whew,
beautiful.
that one got me. Absolutely, that one got me. And you know the one that really, oh, the one that gets me even think about was the scene of her actually summoning too. When
Oh,
you see her with the staff and you know what it took for her as someone so wise beyond her years, never really having the chance to be innocent, never have,
mm,
even though that's what she exudes to people. And as a voice, it was such a thing that I chose. You know what I mean? But you're right. There she is, this person having this experience and knowing that it's all just going to get ripped away. It's
yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
It's emotional.
One of the things I will admit that I kind of wish did happen. It was great to see you reprise your role in Dissidia NT. Great to see
Thanks.
PS4. I did wish we could have gotten the cutscene where like just Tidus reuniting with Yuna. Oh my God, man, that
I
was such a missed
know.
opportunity. I don't know what Square Enix was thinking. Although we
I
kind of,
know, man, because they want to keep us lovers torn apart. That's what they want.
there's three other questions because I know it's gonna be a 10-minute interview. Yeah, but like she was one of my mains in the City of 012, so it was very interesting, I'm sure, for you to see her in the fighting game. Uh, what
I
do you think of
know.
this? What do you think of this idea of and I kind of and I actually created these signs. What would you think about this idea of one day we might see Tidus and Yuna as playable characters in a future Super Smash Brothers game? I would love to see them with Mario, Ryu from Street Fighter, my boy Joker from
Can
Persona
you
5, and those guys. I
imagine
would
that?
love to see that.
That would be so fun. First of all, that animation on Yuna, those great big apple cheeks, that would be adorable. Um, I think that would be really funny. And I think that she would be too gleeful in her violence. I think I think
I
it
just
would be
want to
very
see them just
gleeful
so I can see
violence.
my Mount Rushmore together, which is Mario, Street Fighter, and Persona 5. That's kind of one of the reasons why I would love to see like those two
Mario
finally colliding.
Street Fighter. That's
Oh
brilliant,
yeah.
Anderson.
Oh,
I
and there's
love your
another quick
mashups.
question.
Yeah.
This isn't like a Final Fantasy relate because again, there's only two questions left. Um, what
Mhm.
other video games would you like to one day have a part of in terms of voice acting? Because like those two franchises I mentioned, Street Fighter, Final Fantasy, I mean
Jeez.
Street Fighter and Persona, uh, because I love Yuna and your performance, I think you can do great in like a
Yeah.
future character in those franchises.
Thanks, first of all. Um, but I don't think I could, I don't know that I because I got to be a part of the Walking Dead. That was really fun. I got to be in that world. That was definitely something that I found really fun. I think it would have to be something completely new,
Mm.
actually. I think I would prefer to be a part of something really new where I was helping again, kind of like we did with Final Fantasy X, where I was sort of like launching into something that I wasn't treading on familiar ground. I think it
All
would
right.
have to be something
All
brand
right.
new.
All right. See, and then there's one last question, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
try to ask this very carefully.
Ooh.
Because I know it's a typical question to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, the guy that wrote the story for Final Fantasy 10 and 10-2, Nojima, his name is, he had
Mm.
confirmed that the script for 10-3 has been finalized, and they'll be ready to start working on that game once they finish wrapping up the Final Fantasy 7 remake trilogy. Because it's now confirmed that aside from Rebirth, we're getting a third game that will wrap up the remake
Mhm.
storyline. Um, what do you hope will happen with Tidus and Yuna? Because a lot of people are skeptical if they want to see continuation. Because I would like to see a happy ending for those two, but a part of me feels like maybe there won't be we might not get a happy ending. Like what would you hope will happen with Yuna, or like what do you expect might happen with those characters? Because they're
That's such
essentially
a great
adults.
question, Anderson, because I wonder about the fact that the the current world that we're in and the current, you know what I mean? Like how how that story and how that relationship, and you know, I trust the writers implicitly. So I think I don't go into any of these things with expectations or hopes or anything like that. As a professional actor, like you said, it's very, very hard to have that stuff. So I just trust the writers, and I just kind of, that's my hope that I still even get to be a part of it. Hey,
Yeah,
I
I
just
hope
got
so.
the word that it's 60-second lightning round. So what else do you want to ask me?
I just want to say that it's such an honor to meet you. I really do hope that one day you come to a convention in New York so I can have my copy signed
Ooh,
and get photos and all
thanks.
that.
Thank you,
Really, I don't think
Anderson.
I'm sure people have told you this, but you not only have you voiced one of the greatest women in all of video games, but you have become such an inspiration. Because of this game, I met so many of my friends, and just last month, my best friend and I, we actually went together as Tidus and Yuna at some convention. So it's so great. No, like I'm dead serious. Like your character, like Yuna is an inspiration for not just women, but for men as well. The strength, and you, in my opinion, did a such a phenomenal job, and there's a reason why people still talk about her 2 decades later. And I guarantee and I'm excited to see how the story will continue or conclude a few years from
Thank
now
you,
when we get 10
Anderson.
3. Thank you,
Thank
Hedy.
you.
All
Thank
right,
you.
to end it
Thank
off,
you.
can we hear Yuna saying how happy she is to see Tidus? I want to see you do the Yuna voice. I'm sorry, saying how happy she is seeing Tidus.
Oh, Tidus, it's very good to see you again. I've missed you so.
Thank you so much. Oh my god,
Oh,
oh
that
my
feels
god, I'm
like a
blushing.
great
Thank you so
that
much,
feels like a
Heidi.
great place
You
to
made my
end
day
it,
so
guys.
much, and what a
Oh,
great way to celebrate the 21st anniversary of Final Fantasy X, which is today, by the way. I hope you
oh,
realize it.
I
fantastic.
know. I'm harsh and they're mellow. There you go.
Oh my god, you can just tell how much of a super fan. Heidi, thank you so much. Have
Yeah,
yourself a
yeah.
great
Yeah.
You're very
holiday.
welcome, Anderson.
Would you
Thank you
like a
so much.
photo before we end this,
All
guys?
right, let me just make sure I get my sword next to me.
All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Thank you so much for hanging
Thank
out with
you
us
Thank
so
you,
today.
much.
Heidi. Thank you so much.
Bye, Anderson.
Happy
Bye.
holidays.
Bye.
Bye.